Have you ever felt that chilling sensation when a conversation that was going well suddenly dies? Like someone flipped a switch and all the energy drained from the room. Pay attention, because what I'm about to reveal is incredibly rare to come across. There are specific phrases that destroy female attraction in a matter of seconds, and the worst part is, you've probably said many of them without even realizing it. Picture this scene. You're at a bar, the ambient music setting the perfect mood. She's there smiling, her eyes sparkling with interest. The conversation flows naturally. Then you drop that line and boom. Her smile freezes, her eyes lose their sparkle. She looks at her phone. Game over. Know what the problem is? You keep repeating the same fatal mistakes because no one taught you what truly kills attraction. You keep wondering why they always lose interest, why conversations die out of nowhere, why you can never maintain that initial spark. The truth is, every wrong word is like shooting yourself in the foot. You sabotage your chances before you even realize you had an opportunity. Now listen to me. In the last 7 years, I've decoded the communication patterns that separate men who naturally attract from those who unintentionally repel. And what I discovered is that few men apply this knowledge because they simply don't know it exists. The secret lies in understanding that the female mind has extremely sensitive repulsion triggers. A single phrase can activate these triggers and turn attraction into instant rejection. I'm going to share with you the 5 categories of phrases you need to eliminate from your vocabulary right now. Pay close attention, because this is knowledge almost no one realizes. First, phrases that scream insecurity. You know when you say things like, "You must be tired of guys hitting on you," or "Wow, I can't believe you're talking to me." These phrases send a clear signal that you see yourself as inferior to her. Insecurity is the biggest attraction killer there is. When you verbalize your lack of confidence, her brain registers that as weakness. And biologically speaking, weakness isn't attractive. Think about it. If you don't even believe you deserve to be there talking to her, why should she? Every time you put yourself down, you're practically asking to be rejected. Can you feel how this changes everything? Second, phrases that show a desperate need for approval. I'm talking about things like, "Do you like me?" or "Do I have a chance with you?" Dude, that's pure poison for attraction. When you constantly seek validation, you're communicating that your worth depends on her opinion. This completely reverses the dynamic. You automatically put yourself in an inferior position. Women are attracted to men who are confident in their own value, not by guys who beg for crumbs of attention. The need for approval is like cheap cologne. Everyone smells it and no one likes it. Remember this. Attraction is born from mystery, not certainty. When you constantly ask for confirmation, you kill any tension that could exist. Does that make sense to you? Third, phrases that turn the conversation into a boring interrogation. What's your name? Where do you work? How old are you? What do you like to do? It sounds like a job interview, not a seductive conversation. This type of approach kills the vibe because it turns something that should be fun and spontaneous into something mechanical and predictable. She's answered those questions 1,000 times. You just become another generic guy in line. The conversation needs to flow naturally. It needs to have emotion, surprise, tension. When you bombard her with basic questions, you're showing you have nothing interesting to offer beyond superficial curiosity. Even worse is when you ask question after question without sharing anything about yourself. You become a walking questionnaire. No one wants to feel interrogated in an interaction that should be enjoyable. Do you see the difference now? Fourth, phrases that show a total lack of personality. "Hey, how's it going? Wow, it's hot today, huh? Do you come here often?" These are phrases anyone could say. Zero originality, zero impact. When you use these worn-out cliches, you're communicating that you're just like all the other guys she's met. Why should she be interested in someone who has nothing unique to offer? Attraction is born from difference, not sameness. If you talk like everyone else, act like everyone else, think like everyone else, you'll get the same mediocre results everyone else does. Studies show that the human brain automatically ignores repetitive stimuli. When you use generic phrases, you literally become background noise. Does that surprise you? Fifth, phrases that create competition or victimhood. Classic examples are, "You probably prefer taller guys," or "Women never give me a chance." That's self-sabotage at its most destructive level when you portray yourself as a victim, or create imaginary competitions. You're planting the idea in her mind that there are better options. You're literally suggesting she should look for another guy. Victim energy repels people like an invisible shield. No one wants to be around someone who complains all the time, much less start something romantic with that person. You need to understand that attraction is about positive energy and confidence, not about competing or complaining. Every time you portray yourself as a loser, you're programming her to see you exactly that way. Can you see the pattern now? Now I'm going to give you the framework I've been using for years, the anti-repulsion code, or simply ARCANS. C for confidence. Eliminate any phrase that undermines your own confidence. If it doesn't add value, don't say it. A for authenticity. Steer clear of cliches and empty flattery. Be real, but be the best. Version of real TOS R for respect. Never ever under any circumstances devalue or judge. Not her and not yourself. This simple code is what separates men who naturally attract from those who live in a dry spell. And the most impressive thing is that few apply it because they think it's too simple to work. But maybe you're thinking, now Kai, but dude, I'm authentic. I'm not going to police myself when talking to women. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Being authentic doesn't mean being unconscious. It means expressing your truth in a way that connects, not repels. You're not policing yourself. You're refining your communication. It's like tuning an instrument. The sound is still yours, but now it plays in harmony, not dissonance. Think of a chef. They don't just throw any ingredient on the plate just because it's authentic. They carefully choose what will create the best experience. Your communication works the same way. The point isn't to pretend to be someone else. It's to stop sabotaging who you really are with words that don't represent your best self. I'm going to tell you a truth almost no one realizes. Most men miss incredible opportunities because they're not aware of their own speech. They speak on autopilot, repeating patterns they learned without questioning. Every time you eliminate one of these toxic phrases from your vocabulary, you exponentially increase your chances of creating real connections. It's not magic, it's applied psychology. Always remember this. Words create reality. When you speak like someone insecure, you become insecure. When you speak like someone without value, you lose value. When you speak like a victim, you become a victim. But the opposite is also true. When you eliminate these destructive phrases, you naturally start communicating in a more attractive way. You don't need to memorize pickup lines. You don't need to pretend to be the alpha. You just need to stop sabotaging yourself. Female attraction is like that light switch I mentioned at the beginning. One wrong phrase turns everything off. But when you master what not to say, you keep the light on and the energy flowing. Now you have the knowledge. You know exactly which phrases to avoid. You understand the psychology behind each mistake. You have the framework to never make those slip-ups again. But knowledge without action is useless. You need to start applying this today, in your next conversation, at your next opportunity, before it's too late. Because while you procrastinate, other guys out there are applying this and reaping the results, managing to keep conversations engaging, creating tension and attraction, winning over the women you let slip away. The choice is yours. Continue in the same cycle of mistakes and frustrations, or eliminate these killer phrases for good and completely. Transform your interactions. If you've made it this far, it's because you understand the importance of this. So do something for yourself right now. Like this video and subscribe to the channel before you forget. Because every day that passes without this knowledge is another lost opportunity. Remember, attraction is a switch. You decide whether to keep it on or stay in the dark. The choice has always been yours.